How do you make beef bone broths? Are you curious about how to make a rich and flavorful beef bone broth right at home? Let's break down the steps to create this nourishing staple that can elevate your cooking. First, you need to select the right bones. Look for a mix of marrow, connective tissue, and some meat. Oxtail, short ribs, knuckle, or shank are great choices. For a deeper flavor, roasting the bones is key. Spread them on a baking sheet and roast them in a hot oven at around 400 to 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 40 minutes. You want them browned and caramelized, which adds a wonderful depth of flavor. Once your bones are ready, it's time to add some aromatics. Transfer the roasted bones to a large stock pot or slow cooker. Add aromatic vegetables like onions, celery, leeks, and garlic. These will contribute subtle layers of flavor. Don't forget to include herbs like bay leaves and peppercorns. Adding a tablespoon of white or apple cider vinegar is also important. This acid helps break down collagen and connective tissues, which leads to a richer broth. Next, cover the bones and vegetables with cold water. Bring the mixture to a boil over medium-high heat, then reduce it to a very low simmer. You want the broth to cook gently, with the lid slightly ajar to let steam escape. This simmering process should last between 12 to 24 hours. The longer you simmer, the more flavor and nutrients you will extract. During this time, remember to skim off any foam or impurities that rise to the surface. This keeps your broth clear and clean. As the broth simmers, you may notice some water evaporating. It's important to add more hot water as needed to keep the bones submerged. This ensures consistent extraction throughout the cooking process. Once your simmering is complete, strain the broth through a fine mesh sieve or cheesecloth. This will remove the bones and vegetable solids, leaving you with a beautiful liquid. Allow the broth to cool. As it cools, the gelatin from the bones will cause it to thicken and become jelly-like in texture. This is a sign of a well-made bone broth. For storage, keep the broth in airtight containers in the refrigerator for up to several days. You can also freeze it for longer storage. Beef bone broth is incredibly versatile. Use it as a base for soups, stews, or sauces, or enjoy it on its own as a nourishing drink. If you want to save some time, using a slow cooker or pressure cooker can speed up the process. Pressure cooking for about 3 hours is effective while still extracting flavor and gelatin. Roasting the bones with a light coating of oil and salt can also enhance caramelization and flavor development. Remember, gentle simmering is key to preserving clarity and preventing cloudiness in your broth. Now you have all the steps to make delicious beef bone broth at home. Happy cooking!